that shit. Counter. Combination. Where's my coffee? Let's go. Respect. Fuck, that was masterful. A fight for the ages in boxing, and one guy just showed a masterful performance in boxing. That's a bar, bro. Game is game. It was crazy. That was just a beautiful display of the sweet science. When they call it the sweet science, it's fights like this, the highest level, two guys undefeated. And from round one, I could see, I just saw Errol was a bit sporadic, and just Terence was calm, chill, cold. And coming out to Eminem, that boosted him up, that boosted me up. That was fucking wild. But yeah, just cold, calculated, had his hands in the right place, was effortless in a way, but at the same time efficient. And just round two, dropped him. I could sense that coming, because you could just feel the energy shift. Like, I was like, he's a bit sporadic. He's panicking a little bit, but fucking Errol's a fucking dog, bro. He got 3 dogs in him. That guy, he was never out of the fight. Well, I mean, he was never out of the fight until Terence took him out of the fight. He was always dangerous, bro. Cool, calm, calculated, killer.
Just boxing back.
Boxing never left. The fuck you talking about? That's all casual. This is casual. Hey, casuals. That's what they say, casuals. Hey, bro.
Those and that is the reaction of Mr. Adesanya. Israel Adesanya reacts to Terence Crawford and his defeat over Errol Spence and let me counterpunch. Reaction from reaction. It was good stuff. It's great to see someone from the UFC platform respect the art form of boxing. You know, a lot of boxing is talked on Joe Rogan's podcast and many others, okay? And, you know, we have Jake Paul. He's fighting Nick Diaz tonight, and, you know, on using Queensberry rules. And one thing I wanted to point out, yes, Terence Crawford was a dog. Yes, he did what he's supposed to do. Yes, Eminem was the one that hyped you and had you thinking like, oh my God, right? Like I said, oh my God, to the body, body. So you heard that Niger coming out in Adesanya, definitely, when he got excited, right? You know, do my coffee, you know. So it was like, this is what he said, Boxing has never left. He was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Boxing never left. That's casuals. And that's exactly what I want to talk to you guys about. A lot of casual fans, they watch UFC also, or watch UFC mostly because UFC produces more fights. But here's the thing. UFC produces more challenges for the fighters on that platform, but they get paid less because they're in there with a dictador. So, you know, you're going to get those fights, but the fighters will be at their best, but they'll fight harder because they're not getting paid as well. Okay, so that's one thing. Whereas boxing, you wait a while to see a fight that you want to see, but those fighters are going to get paid. However, you're still going to see the fight. And boxing hasn't went anywhere. It's just the politics, the networks, the promotional companies, the under the table shit you got to worry about. But sometimes fights like that does get made, and they do happen. And Adesanya is coming from UFC stating that, hey, boxing ain't never died. What are you talking about? The F are you talking about? You know what I mean? That's a casual statement. It is a casual statement. You know, because a lot of people over here, I had to tell a friend of mine, shout out to Barry Handley, I had to tell him definitely, like, he was like, man, nobody cares about the fight between Terence Crawford and the win he had over Spence. I'm like, where are you at? And he was like, Shreveport. Bingo. You're in a place that's not a boxing haven for boxing. It's a UFC place that Shreveport adopted because there wasn't enough boxers there in Shreveport in that area. Okay, that's 3 hours from Dallas. However, It's not much going on there except for Buffalo Wild Wings and other bars that mostly provide pay-per-view, okay, for UFC. So, yeah, so the perception would be, yeah, that's where it's at because that's all they watch there, not over the whole United States. Even though it's a lot of people that love UFC, and it is worldwide as well. But that doesn't mean just because that sport is worldwide doesn't mean that boxing is dead, and boxing took a turn for the better when Terence Crawford stopped and defeated Errol, the Truth Spence. But good stuff from Adesanya. You guys tell me what you think of Israel Adesanya responding to Terence Crawford defeating Errol, the Truth Spence. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!